saplings, I'm Kenny and welcome to an extra special theme class. As you can see, I'm a little bit different today. Can you guess what our theme is going to be about? What day of the year do we dress up in costumes and go have fun with our friends? It's Halloween. So today for theme, we're going to learn about Halloween and other fall festivals. But today I want to talk all about the fun things we can do for Halloween. So can you say, I can learn about Halloween? One more time, I can learn about Halloween. Now, Halloween is something that we often celebrate in some very special ways. One of them, I'm doing right now, dressing up in a costume. So what do we do on Halloween after we dress up? Well, let's look at this picture and see if you can figure it out. Do you know what these kids are doing? They're going trick-or-treating. Going trick-or-treating is a very important part of Halloween. So you can see they're all in costumes. But there are a few things in this picture I want to talk about. First, the costumes. During Halloween, there are a lot of monsters that we see. Some can seem a little bit scary and some are a little bit silly. Back a long time ago, Halloween came from a festival called Samhain that the Celts celebrated. They thought that on this day, the barrier between the living and the dead was super close and maybe monsters could come. So people dressed up in costumes so that they wouldn't be taken away. Now, obviously, we know no monsters are going to come and get us, but we still like to dress up in costumes because it's fun. But what are some of the costumes that we see all the time? Well, a black cat. This is a very popular character in costume during Halloween. Also, skeletons. We always see skeletons at this time of the year. Ooh, a ghost. This ghost is very cute. A witch. Actually, I really love dressing up like a witch. A vampire. He seems a little bit scary. Oh, a monster. We see lots of monster costumes around Halloween as well. A mummy. A mummy's pretty cool costume, but you can't see anything, only your eyes. Also, a pumpkin. I love seeing little kids in pumpkin costumes, just like this girl. It's so cute. And a spider. Ooh, spiders are a little bit scary with their 8 legs, but I think this spider is really cute. And last, a bat. We often see bats with witches. So I thought it'd be really cool if you can guess what costume I'm thinking about as we play I Spy. All right, let's see if you can guess the costume that I'm thinking about. I spy something that can fly. This costume is someone or something that can fly. What do you think it is? Well, let's see. A ghost can fly. A witch can fly on a broom. And a bat can fly as well. But which one am I thinking of? Should I give you another hint? There is a lot of black. Did you guess? It's a witch. Like I said, I like dressing up like a witch. I think it's fun. Should we do one more time? I spy something. Something that's white. Can you guess which white costume that I'm talking about? Well, we have the skeleton. We have this ghost. This mummy's kind of off-white. Can you guess? I'll give you a hint. He's got a lot of pieces. It was the skeleton. Look at all of those bones. All right, so the costume is one important part of trick-or-treating. Now, what else? Where are they going? And what are they doing this for? Well, trick-or-treating is when you can go to a house, knock on the door, say, trick-or-treat, and you'll usually get some kind of candy or a different kind of snack. In America, it's very common to go around the neighborhood and knock on all of the doors. Just like this one. I wonder if we knock on this door, if we'll get a treat. But before we try, there's something else important that all of these children have. It's a bucket. When you go trick-or-treating, you hold a bucket or a bag so that you have somewhere to put all the treats that you get. And I've made a special bucket just for this. It's here. So, shall we go trick-or-treating? All right, let's knock on the door, and I want you to say with me, trick-or-treat, in a really big voice, okay? Ready? Trick-or-treat! No one's coming. Maybe we should say it louder. Ready? Knock, knock, knock. Trick-or-treat! We got a piece of candy. All right, let's put it inside the basket. I've already been doing a lot of trick-or-treating. Look at all this candy. On Halloween, you might get a whole lot of candy, but make sure, one, you show all of it to your mom and dad. That way they can make sure all the candy is safe. And two, if you remember when we learned about a balanced meal, we shouldn't eat sugar all the time. So maybe only one piece at a time, and then that way you'll have a lot of candy for a really long time. Maybe I'll eat this one we just got today. So the last part of this picture that I want to talk about is something that actually we can see on my basket. And we see so many here. They're pumpkins. But even more than pumpkins, they're jack-o'-lanterns. But what is a jack-o'-lantern? A jack-o'-lantern is whenever you carve or cut a pumpkin. The first thing you do is cut off the top, take all the squishy insides out of the pumpkin, and then you carve a face or something cool. Sometimes you can see silly faces on a jack-o'-lantern. Sometimes you even see animals. After the carving is finished, you can put a light inside. That way, when it's dark at night or when people are coming over to trick or treat, they can all see how cool your jack-o'-lanterns look. Now, we said that a lot of people go around neighborhoods and trick or treat, but what if there's no neighborhood for them to go around? Well, actually, there's this cool thing that sometimes people do called trunk or treat. Trunk or treat is whenever a lot of people will get together in a parking lot or somewhere where they can fit a lot of cars, and instead of going to houses, people visit all the cars. That seems a little strange, but look at this. They can make really cool designs in the trunk. Here's one that looks like Candyland, and this one looks like a video game. Those would be so excited to go visit on Halloween. So maybe someone's not sure of the neighborhood, they just moved there and they don't know how safe it is, or they live in an apartment building or somewhere where they can't visit all the houses. Trunk or treat is a nice, good way to still be able to have fun and get lots of candy and see all your friends in costume. Now, one of the things we love to do here at Learning Tree during Halloween time is make lots and lots of crafts. We always use them to decorate the whole school so everyone can see it at our Halloween party. So, since I couldn't get a pumpkin this year, I thought it would be fun if I taught you how to make a pumpkin jack-o'-lantern craft. Does that sound great? All right, let's try. All right, I'm all ready. So, you can see I have a piece of white paper, some glue, 3 colors of paint, and some salt. All right, this is a really fun jack-o'-lantern craft that I like to make, and it's super easy. So first, I want a thick, hard piece of paper. Construction paper or a piece of cardboard like this works well. Next, I'm going to draw my pumpkin. So I like to draw it in a very easy way. First, I draw an oval. Just like that. Then, on one side of the oval, I make a circle. And then on the other side, I make another circle. Then, a stem. Super easy, right? Now, I want to draw the face. So for a jack-o'-lantern, we often see triangles for the eyes, another triangle for the nose, and then a silly kind of face. Maybe a little spooky. That looks good. Okay, so now that that part is done, let's add one more circle. Let's make a big pumpkin. Whoa, that's a very thick pumpkin. All right, so now I'm going to trace my lines with my glue. Let's squeeze till it comes out. Here we go. So I'm just gonna go on everything I just drew with the glue. So there's one line and another. So here, be careful. Try to make sure you get the glue on top of the lines and make sure you're not missing any spaces. All right, now let's do my middle oval. One of my favorite parts of Halloween is making all the crafts with all of my students every year. And then I love going around the school and seeing all the crafts from all the other campuses. There's always something cool that I've never thought of before. So, now that I'm almost finished with the outside of the pumpkin, afterwards, I'll do the inside. All right, so there's our pumpkin. Let's do the stem. Now our jack-o'-lantern face. One eye, 2 eyes, the nose, and last, its silly smile. Your jack-o'-lantern face doesn't have to look like mine. You can make any kind of smile or eyes or nose. And finish. All right, so now we're done with that part. And next we need the salt. So now you're gonna take your salt, pinch it, and sprinkle it on top of your paper. What you're trying to do is cover all the pieces. What you're trying to do is cover all the places where you just put glue. Okay. It might be a little bit messy. Just make sure you clean up afterwards. So after you do that, you can shake it around a little. Make sure that everywhere has some salt. All right, now that we've got all the salt on, we can start painting. So I'm gonna start with the outside of my jack-o'-lantern, the pumpkin part. So I'm gonna take my orange paint. This is watercolor paint. And what we're gonna do is put it on top of the salt. You can see it kind of spreads through the salt like it's running. So we're gonna nicely just paint on top of this salt. You only need a little bit because the watercolor spreads. It's gonna make a very nice bright orange pumpkin. I'm only just barely touching the top of the salt with my brush. All right, now around this oval. If some gets on the paper, that's okay. You can always go through also when you finish and paint the inside. But I'm just going to do the salt part. Almost done with the pumpkin. And my last half circle. All right, so now that part's finished, I can move on to the stem. So my green paint is to paint the stem. So fast. And last, I'll use the black paint for the face. Let's start with our 2 triangle eyes. Whoa, see how fast that one ran? 1 eye. And 2 eyes. That time I didn't even have to touch all the parts. Now how about the nose? Doesn't that look cool? And last, our mouth. Watch the paint spread on the salt. Very nice. Now, I have a super cool textured jack-o'-lantern. Now, I have a super cool textured jack-o'-lantern. When it's all dry, you'll be able to run your hand and see which parts are smooth and which parts are rough. It's pretty fun. All right, guys, thank you so much for talking with me about Halloween and all the ways that we can enjoy going trick-or-treating. All right, I'll see you next time to talk about other fall festivals around the world. See you!